Hello all together. Welcome to part 5 of this quick start tutorial series about the SA342 Gazelle from Polychop. As promised, we will blow some things up today. In this part we will cover the weapons of the L variant, so we will use the gun and the unguided rockets. At first we discuss all the relevant and useful keybinds and cover the armament panel of the L Gazelle. In the second part we do the practical stuff and engage some trucks. If you want to skip one of these parts, you can easily hop to the part you are interested in by using the chapter function of the timeline or video description. I hope you have fun with this part of the series, so let's get started. So here we are on the right hand side of the Gazelle. What you can see here is the giant M621 20mm gun. The box behind the pilots can carry up to 240 bullets. The range of this gun is about 1200 meters and it fires with 740 rounds per minute. The ammo types you can carry is high explosive, armor piercing and combat mix, which is a mix of both of them. If we take a closer look to the left hand side of the aircraft, we can see our rocket launcher for the SNEB-68 EAP rockets. There are 8 rockets in total. We have a caliber of 68mm per rocket. The rockets have about 4000 meters range. And we have 2 variants, a smoke marker WP or Willipede or white phosphor and EAP, explosive armor piercing. Just a short info about the white phosphor. In real life it can be used against infantry or light armored vehicles. Phosphor is not simulated in DCS, so for us it is only a normal smoke rocket. So let us look at the rearmament panel. We can use it via the F10 menu, ground crew, ammunition and fuel, and as you can see we are already loaded up. You can't dismount the gun, so the gun is set via the cannon ammunition here. The ammunition type you can see here, AP is armor piercing, HE is high explosive. So you can use a different combat mix or only the HE or the AP. Here on station 2 you can load the EAP, so the explosive armor piercing, that's the one you want to use if you want to blow things up, and the WP, the white phosphor. You can see there's a little marker which says smoke. Today we will use the EAP. So next we will take a closer look to my key bindings, and I would highly recommend that you use them as I do. So escape controls. First of all, we need a keybind on our HOTAS for the SA342 pilot side deploy and retract. I got it on my HOTAS, so I can simply click the switch to flip the pilot side up and down. The second one I have on my stick is the right arm toggle. You can see it here. I would highly recommend to use this switch because with this button you can switch between the gun and the rockets. I will show you later how that works. Next we need is the fire gun or rocket switch. Of course I got it on the trigger of my HOTAS here, so that's the button you want to push or pull to fire the gun or the rocket. So let's take a closer look on our armament panel. We have 2 panels here. The first is for powering the armament panel and the second is the armament panel itself. So let's switch that on, and as you can see we have a counter here for our rockets. We have 8 on the left pylon and 240 rounds for the gun on the right pylon. The next one is the master arm switch. So we will flip up this cover and arm the rockets, so the left pylon and the gun on the right pylon. So now the reason why we set on our HOTAS the switch for the right toggle is if I now press the button on my HOTAS, you can see I can turn on and off the right pylon. So while flying and firing the gun, we can simply switch to the rockets and engage with the rockets in one turn. We don't have to look on the armament panel. That's why I really recommend to set up this button. The next is the ripple and single switch. Ripple means we can hold down the trigger and we will fire a lot of rockets in a row, And if we switch to single, we will fire only one rocket per trigger. The lamp here is the trigger lamp, so as soon as I will pull the trigger, this lamp will illuminate to show that the trigger is currently holding down. And of course, before using your weapons, you have to switch the master arm on the main panel to on to get the weapons working. One important thing to employ weapons in a Gazelle is you have to flip down your sight. So if the sight is flipped up, you can't fire rockets or the gun. And also for this, we already set up a keybind, so I can simply switch the knob and you can see I can flip up and down my sight. So I think we are now ready. I just have to reset my track IR here. So the armament panel is open. We are selected on guns. We have single selected. The master arm is on. The gun sight is ready. So I think we give it a try. Take off here. And I simply placed some trucks on the coast of Kazab here to the north. And it's quite simple. Of course, you only have to aim with your crosshair in front and then simply pull the trigger. We will give it a try right now. So to engage with unguided weapons, it's really important that you try to fly as stable as possible. So look for the target, then you have to think about your approach angle. So this is a very flat angle. You can also do it from more above, but for us this is fine. And try to keep the helicopter as steady as possible. So let's take a look. Where are the trucks? There's the first one on the pier. So I will try to set up my aircraft on this target. And I would say guns. Perfect. So as you can see, you have to use your tracers to get the bullets into the target. So next we want to use our rocket, so I use my switch here. Now the left pylon is selected. We will turn around for another engagement here. And we use now the single function, so I have to pull the trigger in a row so we can fire one then more rocket. So we're aligning with the target here. I guess the first rocket will miss, so we need one or two more. So rifle. Yeah, that was... There's a hit. Perfect. Hell yeah, that was a quick part today. We used the weapons of the Gazelle the first time. It isn't that difficult, isn't it? I hope you had fun with this part and that you could learn something. In the next part we will cover the trim and autopilot systems in the preparation for the weapons employment of the M Gazelle. I hope to see you all next week. All the best.